took acid, played a show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Like the whole band took acid?
Yeah.
When I got done, I felt like I didn't even play a show. I was like covered in sweat, but like I didn't feel like I'd done anything.
It was trippy.
You guys ever...
Scariest thing.
We don't like promote to do like substances. We just think experimentation is interesting and
needs to be explored.
When it gets from experimentation to like addiction and ruining your life, then it's not a good thing, and we don't promote that.
You guys ride on acid?
No, just a lot of, well, we'll just have, kickbacks and writings like, first we'll smoke and drink and hang out, and then we'll just start jamming and, work on music, and it's kind of just all to make it as fun as possible, because while we're writing, that's like my favorite part, probably, the whole being in the band is making new music, so
yeah,
that's like my favorite thing to do.
Do you guys think that weed enhances the songwriting process?
Not really. I've written a bunch of cool stuff not stoned, and a bunch of cool stuff stoned.
It doesn't make anything better, but I guess it puts you in a different place.
It does help the atmosphere, kind of. Like if you're a little tense and you're with a bunch of musicians who are all really relaxed while you're writing, then it does help, I think, ideas flow better. Just create better synergy between all of us while we're making music. That's the only difference I could possibly say.
When you play with other musicians, maybe it's good too. Like when we were with Chino, when we recorded with Chino, like we were just both in a very positive atmosphere. So it like helped the writing process because we were both comfortable. So I guess that would work,
Yeah, for sure. Growing up in Sacramento, were you guys huge Deftones fans?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like?
I would put in Adrenaline, and then I would listen to it all the way through, and then I'd put in Around the Fur, and then I would listen to it all the way through, and then I'd put in Adrenaline.
What about White Pony?
White Pony wasn't out.
Oh,
but
okay, yeah.
yes, when White Pony came out, I was fucking ecstatic.
Totally, man. So what was it like, your initial impression of meeting Chino? What was that first feeling like?
It was surreal, just having him in the studio.
It was surreal, but it felt like I knew him because of where he was from, and like I know what school he went to. Like I had friends that went to school with him and shit. Like, so when I had met him, it was actually the third time that I met him.
Oh, okay.
But Chino probably meets like thousands of people on a regular basis, and can't remember every single person.
Yeah. You said you had friends that went to high school with Chino?
I actually, I think his little brother went to Ponderosa High School, which is a high school in Shingle Springs. And I went there for my junior and senior year.
Do you hear like stories?
Not really. Just like, it's kind of funny, like kids would probably hang out with him, like his brother, but I don't know, he wasn't popular or anything. Like he was just popular around the kids that knew him, I guess.
That's cool. And you mentioned Glassjaw earlier. You played at the festival with them. Did you get to meet them?
No, it was all under wraps. But I'm not really into meeting like artists that I respect.
Yeah, how come?
Just because I feel like, if you come across paths and you're kicking it or something, that's one thing. But going out of your way to meet an artist that you respect usually seems like you're just setting yourself up for kind of a letdown. Because like, what could a person really do? if you met like David Bowie, like what could he really
What
do?
would
to
you
be
really
so
do?
tight, you know?
What would you
To be
say?
So, yeah, what would you say to
What
David
would you-
Bowie? So,
Like, since we're on the Sacramento kick,
Mhm.
like literally the best musician, or one of the best musicians in my book, would be Zach Hill. And he is just absolutely fucking amazing. Like, he does all these different projects. I would watch him in Placerville at this coffee shop with a bunch of other bands that are amazing around that time, and I'd get to like sit on the ground and watch him play and shit. And I've never met him before, except for I was in town going to a show at Harlow's. This band called Gavin Dance. They're from New York. They're really, really good. Anyways, Zach Hill was there. He was at the bar, and I fucking made an ass of myself. Like, not an ass, but I just felt like starstruck, and was like, hey, what's your name, man? Like, and he's like, oh, I'm Zach. I was like, oh, nice to meet you. It's like all I could say to the guy, because, like, I don't know, I just like idolize what he does. And it's so funny. It makes you think, you know, on smaller scales.
Yeah, that dude does so much shit, dude. Like,
Zach Hill just wrote a record with Cedric from the Mars Volta,
oh, okay.
Omar.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's actually called El Grupo Nuevo de Omar Rodriguez Lopez, and it's fucking sick. Like, I sample little things from their record, like in our set,
Oh yeah.
shit like that.
Since we were talking about Sacramento, like, were you ever into a band called Simon Says back in the day?
they played at my junior high.
Yeah,
Seriously?
Yeah,
I liked
when I
Simon
was in
Says.
seventh grade.
When I was, how old was I? I don't think I was old enough to drive.
I was in like 8th grade.
They started another band after that called
Cheetah Arson.
Arson,
Yeah.
and my old band played with them, like, not a lot, but we played with them more than twice.
That's cool. What are those guys doing now? Nothing?
Nada.
Since you guys have been, you know, into music since you were kids, are you happy where you're at now? Is it different than what you perceived it to be when you were 15?
No.
Yes.
Why no for you?
I didn't really have any perceptions of where I'd be right now, so I just kind of am where I am. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way things are. Yeah, I'm making the music that I want to, and I guess I can't really ask for anything more than that.
And you said yes, it's different.
Yes, and I have a very opinionated answer, and it's basically, I think it has changed completely from what I thought it was going to be, because I thought the kids were smarter, and they're not smarter at all, and they're actually dumber. They're actually really, really dumb.
This generation of kids?
Yes. And even the generation after that, or before that, or whatever, who cares? They're even more dumb. You know?
That's funny.
And this is here's my logic is I was in a band before Gavin Dance. Doesn't even matter. It was a high school band. We were big, like, around Sacramento, and we were always trying to be the newest thing, the most creative thing, the most original thing. That's what I love about Gavin Dance, is they are right there. And anyways, that's a side note. Back to what I was saying. And so, accordingly, we tried to push the envelope every time we would write a record, every time we would make something, make our music, our art. And a lot of kids are embracing dumber music, and they're not progressing as fast as I thought they would be. In fact, I even thought that my old band wasn't progressing enough, so I quit it. And well, we didn't quit, we broke up, but same thing. And I started something new, and I thought that kids would be right there, you know, with a new sound and a smarter sound. But dude, there's so many bands that are coming up that are doing the exact same thing, but shittier. That happened like literally, it's almost 10 years now. There's been almost a 10-year cycle of music that has stayed the same and that has been stagnant, and record labels are advocating them and pumping them up and making them feel like they're the new shit, and they're just copycats. They're copiers, and the shitty part is they're not even doing it justice. They're fucking it up.
Yeah, that's kind of just the way the music scene works in ways. Like a band or a couple bands will come out with something people haven't heard, and then, you know, there's like a group of bands who get noticed who are doing that kind of thing, and they kind of create a scene.
Yeah.
And then there's the first line of copycats, and the second line, and the third line, and it just
And you just get this watered down version of what was actually brilliant.
And I feel like our scene that we get lumped into is already gone through all these generations of copycats, and we're already in a really watered down version of it.
Yeah.
And we have to be like a band who's still pushing where people have forgotten to even go with the music. So.
And you know, I really don't care if anybody opposes to this, because people talk shit on me all the time, and that's fine. Like me as a person, and what I do, and my art, and my music, that's fine. It's fine, that is their opinion. So, I mean, to a lot of people, I am spouting blasphemy, and that's fine. We're blessed. We are very, very grateful for the fans that we have, and we are very, very blessed that we can stay within a genre and not really be in the genre at all.
Does it bother you to have to deal with a lumped scene where bands all sound the same?
It kind of does, but I mean, you can't make other bands be innovative, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And we're so far past it, really. I think me and Will and everybody in my band, our band, I think we've gone through it for so long that it doesn't even phase us anymore, because we've already gotten mad and been like, man, we're tired of this. And it's even beyond that.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
even beyond like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to dog on anything, but every opening band that we ever had in any state, I'm not even talking about like cool states, uncool states, states that aren't, you know, up with it. It's every place in America. Every local band that we have that plays with us is a freaking catastrophe, and they all sound the same. And I am tired of it. I wish kids would like something else or something, or be good at it, because you can be good at, you know, I've said too much.
Are there specific bands that you think lead the way of this cookie cutter syndrome?
There's no point in like name dropping a bunch of bands, because it's not like it's their fault that
it's not
kids
their fault.
buy it.
It is not their fault at all.
A band who shouldn't be big because kids shouldn't like be buying that shit. But you know, they'll buy image and all that stuff.
It's really not the musician's fault. It's almost the industry's fault for making them like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For making them be like, this is what you should do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like that's fine. Their careers probably won't be as long because they won't be able to adapt to whatever is next. And you can either create that or you can follow that. But either way, everything changes.
Is there a line that, for you guys, that separates industry versus actually creating art?
I try and keep it very separate. We have good relationships with our management. We have, you know, business management and all kinds of people keeping tabs on each other, and we try to focus our you know, just put all of our focus on writing and just performing as well as we can. So we try and keep
very
it
purposefully
just,
placed with the right people that know what we want to do and how we work. That just comes with years. You know what I'm saying? You find the people that you like. You find, you know, the certain connections that you want to have, and the stipulations that are entitled. You know, a lot of kids think that, you know, they can, you know, getting signed to a record label is the biggest thing that could ever happen to you.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest thing at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could get signed to Capitol Records right now, not have a single fan, and it wouldn't do you any good.
That's true. Back in, 2007, your singer, the original singer quit.
Right.
Do you feel that you're in a better situation now?
Yeah.
I read so much shit online about why the dude quit, and I know now you guys are on tour with Amorosa. Can you explain why he quit and what it's like being on tour now?
Well, he got kicked out.
Oh, he got kicked out.
Yeah.
See, online it's kind of...
It's very...
Yeah.
This whole thing is very gray, and that's okay. We don't mind.
Mhm.
We don't care what the kids think happened or what
just,
didn't happen.
there was just a bunch of shit that happened, and we're kind of over it. It's like, yeah, this year we kind of put it past us. Like, you know,
It's time to move on.
Who cares?
It's time for the
really
kids to
happened?
move on.
Yeah.
And yeah. We're all very happy people.
Internet person, and
You know?
that's where all the speculating and all that shit always happens on the internet. Some
That's
kid
true.
says a lie, and then it's like, who cares what any of these kids say at all? Like, I don't. So whatever.
Where do you guys want to go in the future? You know, with this band or individually?
I'd like to keep touring overseas and just see the world, and through the band, that would be awesome.
What about you?
Yeah. I want to do it as long as possible. You know, as long as we're still on the up and up, you know.
Yeah.
Plateauing is not a good thing. We start plateauing, I think we'll start doing other things.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will happen. If it does, then yeah, we'll look to other avenues. But I think for the most part, we have an established fan base. So
As long as we keep
continuing what we're doing, you know,
and they keep listening.
as long as they keep on appreciating, then
It's true.
we'll be here.
But I know some bands, they have this idea of what success is to them, and they have this idea that you have to be fucking huge and you have to be on the cover of magazines and shit. What is success to you?
Success to me has always just been happiness. So as long as your life is balanced, as long as my life feels balanced for me, then I'm cool. And I feel like music has to be a huge part of my life. So
Yeah.
I'm happy doing what I'm doing the whole time. That's all I really need.
I don't really think about anything else other than music. I know that sounds really weird, but like, this is all we talk about. You know, it's kind of what we do. So yeah, I've already exceeded my success factor. So I'm here. We're playing. You know, we tour a lot, so I don't really have time to get a job or anything. I like this type of like lifestyle, not having to get up Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So by me accomplishing that and breaking the fucking system, I've succeeded.